What's up, my comic comrades? We all know that Terry McGinnis is the original and true Batman Beyond, but back in 2015, DC used their Future's End event to give us a story where Tim Drake became the second character to don the suit as Batman Beyond since the character's creation by Bruce Timm and Paul Dini in 1999. This story then led to a 16-issue solo series with Tim Drake in the role of Batman Beyond. So today we're going to jump into the DeLorean to take a look at how it all went down. Because while the Future's End event wasn't received all that well by fans, Tim Drake taking the mantle as Batman Beyond was a huge deal and something that's definitely worth revisiting. So let's dive in and do just that. Off the bat, pun very much intended, I will say this is an alternate version of Tim Drake that did become Batman Beyond, but it's Tim Drake nonetheless. You see, during the Future's End event, there was a war between Prime Earth and Earth 2. And one of the main characters that was caught in this war was Tim Drake, aka Red Robin. He apparently died in this war during the Battle of Paris, being the last Titan to fall. But as we find out via Lois Lane's detective work, he actually faked his death instead, settling down with his girlfriend Madison, who would become the Firestorm of his reality. After faking his own death, he now goes by the alias Cal Cochran and runs the Wounded Duck Bar. We find out that he was helping Terry McGinnis, Batman Beyond, who had traveled back through time in the hopes of preventing the creation of Brother Eye, an artificial intelligence who killed heroes and people, turning them into robots. But an alternate Bruce Wayne Batman was going to stop this by traveling back in time with his special wrist device, but ended up getting attacked by a cybernetic version of Batman Inc., which ends up with him getting his arm chopped off. This leaves it up to Terry to go back in time instead and prevent this from happening, prevent the creation of Brother Eye. But after several issues of trying to defeat Brother Eye, it all comes to a head in issue 46 of Future's End. You see, Batman Beyond is yet again fighting the forces of Brother Eye. But this time, Tim Drake and Batman Beyond's girlfriend Plastique are right by his side. The three of them inevitably get cornered by Eye's drones, all Walking Dead style, with Tim Drake saying, "There's too many of them. Go, man. I'll be the decoy," talking to Terry and Plastique. But Terry says, "Get down," grabbing both Tim and Plastique as we see machine gun fire being shot at them, with Terry acting as a shield for Tim and Plastique. And on the next page, we see it's the Joker Batman cybernetic robot made by Brother Eye, who says, "Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the future is now." Well, not yours, Batman. Batman Beyond gets up and tackles the Joker Batman bot, but the bot is able to grab him and suspend him out of a window, saying, "I win," as we see blood drip from Batman Beyond's feet. Terry then looks at the Joker bot's face, saying, "I failed. I'm sorry, Bruce." Then the head turns around, revealing the Batman bot face, which says, "I told you, failure is not an option." And Terry says, "I remember," using his foot thrusters to pull the Joker bot out of the building. The Batman side of the bot says, "I'm so sorry, Terry," but he responds, "Don't be. It's not over yet," as he drops the Joker Batman bot. Terry is hurt and then crash lands on the side of the building, but Tim is there to pull him up, saying, "You're hurt." Terry responds, "Hurt? Not much longer. Tim." He responds, "Yeah, Terry?" And Terry deactivates his cowl, saying, "I involved you in a mission to save the future." Tim tells him, "Because I don't live to see it." Figured that out, some of the things that were said. Terry then shakes Tim's hand, asking, "Will you be a part of it now?" as we see the two embrace each other. At this point, Plastique comes running in and hugs her boyfriend, saying, "We've got to get him to a doctor." Terry says, "No, don't move. After all I've been through, please be the last thing I see." And with that, he dies in our arms as Tim and Plastique just cry. In the very next issue, issue 47, we see Tim Drake take up the mantle of Batman Beyond, donning Terry's futuristic costume. Because remember what I said a few moments ago, before Terry died, he asked him, "Will you be a part of the future now?" Essentially being like, "Hey man, I'm dying, I need you to be Batman Beyond and stop Brother Eye from ruining the future." Anyway, now the new Batman Beyond, Tim travels back through time and is able to convince Brother Eye to not send a beacon to attract the surviving heroes of Earth 2, which would prevent the war with Earth 2 and Earth Prime, saving the day. Thinking Tim has done it and honored his friend Terry, Brother Eye sends him back to Terry's timeline, where he hopes to find Terry still alive so he can give him back his Batsuit, but also so that he could see his friend alive. The problem is, when he returns to Terry's timeline, he sees that it's still the same exact future that Terry came from and was trying to prevent. At which point he finally realizes the terrific tech is a constant you can't get rid of, and Brother Eye cannot be defeated in the past, meaning somehow he's gonna have to figure out a way to defeat Brother Eye in the future. His lady love Madison says it's getting a bit more complicated. No matter what we, McGinnis, or you did, Brother Eye won. But Tim just looks at the city skyline, saying, "The hell he has, not yet." This leads us to the 2015 16-issue Batman Beyond series, which features Tim Drake as Batman Beyond. In the first issue, we see Tim stop a break-in at Wayne Power's facility by the Jokers. You see, they're trying to steal some piece of tech that keeps Brother Eye from detecting Gotham City. It's actually pretty dope and gives me those Batman Beyond animated series vibes. The Joker's gang is just a nostalgia button for me, like all day, every day. Tim then heads back to Terry's old place, where he's greeted by Nora and Matt, Terry's younger brother. Nora then says, "The news alert said we were about to lose the veil. I assume we have you to thank?" He replies, "Yeah, not that I have a handle on how things work here." Every day, every hour brings something new. Nora says, "You're from out of town, right?" He replies, "Very." Matt then speaks up saying, "What, like Spain or something? That's where Terry supposedly gave you that suit." Tim says, "Farther. What do you mean supposedly?" Matt answers, "Nothing, never mind." Tim then tells him, "Look, Matt, I'd give anything for your brother to be here instead of me." But Matt then interrupts saying, "He died and you got his bat suit. I get it." After more back and forth, Tim is sent out on another mission by Nora, leaving Matt alone with her. As they watch Tim fly off, Matt tells her, "It should have been mine." She replies, "What?" He tells her, "The suit. If I had been there, Terry would have given the suit to me." Now from here out, lots more chaos and hijinks ensue as there's 15 more issues of the series, but in the end, it was kind of all for naught because DC Rebirth and the Doomsday Clock story would reset all of this. You see, when the original Wally West made his return in the DC Rebirth one-shot, most things in the DC universe got reset to how they used to be. And these ripples across reality ended up bringing Terry McGinnis back to life, which allowed him to become Batman Beyond, the Batman of the future once again. This obviously resets things for Tim as well, and he was Robin, or Red Robin, once more. But there you have it, guys, the time Tim Drake became Batman Beyond. Now, I wasn't a big fan of the Future's End event, because it was really convoluted and timelines and time travel is really hard to do properly. But I did like the Tim Drake Terry McGinnis aspect. I enjoyed the 16-issue Tim Drake Batman Beyond miniseries. It was fun to see such a prominent member of the Bat family become the future version of Batman. But as always, we want to know what you guys think. What do you think of Tim Drake becoming Batman Beyond? Let us know in the comments. And that's going to bring today's episode of Bringing It to a close. But if you like today's video, check out this one right here. And if you like all of our content, subscribe, like, and comment. It helps the channel out. But other than that, I'll see you guys next time when I talk about all things comics.